Hey YouTube, coming at you with what was a team that I thought I was gonna get to Legend with when I went on a great run. 29 got to like 100 plus 29-11, and then the flaws of this team started. I knew there were flaws with the double weakness to electric. Man, there's a lot of electric showing up where I am for some reason. So Pidgeot, Cobalion, Golisopod. Basically, Pidgeot on the lead. I actually quite enjoyed using it on the lead, and I made it obvious that I was going Feather Dance multiple times because what I found was what I was able to do is just like, I'm going Feather Dance to lower your attack times 2. I'm going Feather Dance to lower your attack times 4. So you're either going to throw a 4 times reduced move on me, or you are going to reset it and I'm going to get like an advantage on the back end, which like Cobalion can deal with anything that's weak to fighting, and Golisopod can deal with like anything that sort of resists fighting, like Ghost and stuff like that, right? So it was just a nice combo here. So I went up great, and then multiple electric teams. And then if you don't get like switch advantage, or if you lose switch, like Golisopod's not a bad safe swap, but it's not terrible. So let's just look at the battles and the wins losses. So we're gonna go like through, I think the straight wins first, because I had like 6 wins in a row, and I was like, okay, this team's gonna do great, and then it just started flowing. So one lead, they come in here. I'm not in a rush to leave for a couple reasons. One is I don't have an immediate answer to this. I have a Golisopod, which is weak to flying, and a Cobalion, which only has Stone Edge to do, otherwise I'm resisted. Go for the bait first. Did not get it. So the thing at this point, I was like, okay, I'm either too far gone in this match. I'm too far gone to try and take our switch timers or shoot distinct. So what I'm probably going to do is stay in this matchup, get up to like multiple Brave Birds, and just go Brave Birds here, hoping that I can land one of the two. Because if I skip my Golisopod on Poliwrath, which it looks like I will, this is just as good as having Pidgeot on. In fact, probably better, because this has nothing to throw at me. Counter's resisted, Icy Wind is resisted, Scald is resisted. So being able just to like Feather Dance and Brave Bird my way to that victory, alignment here. Again, Shadow Poliwrath. Here comes a broken Scald move. I'm shielding because I know counters and Scald, resisted or not, are going to add up. And now I have the Registeel in the back. I know Golisopod's my win condition. At this point, it's like no shielding, Cobalion, just getting in here, trying to do as much damage as I can with these double kicks and Sacred Sword. Yeah. So here comes the Focus Blast. That's fine. I can live that. They're not going to lock on me down because I am a half steel, so I don't need to worry about that. And what you're going to see here is I'm not throwing. I will take either the full farm and come out with a move, or I'm going to be taking down here so I can get ahead on Shadow Claw. I do not want their Poliwrath to get even more energy, right? I think that's sort of like my only sort of lose condition, if they get like 3 or 4 more counters there and then come out with some energy and lower my attack and stuff like that. So I will gladly let Cobalion go down, come with the Golisopod, shield once, and try and claw Aerial down before they take me out with these resisted counters and Scald. Because, you know, way closer than it should be a Golisopod against Poliwrath. Man, I really hope they nerf this Pokemon, nerf Scald next season. It's a really bad meta with him everywhere. Drifblim, interesting lead. Hex is resisted, Shadow Ball resisted, but Icy Wind is very much super effective. So I know I can live 1, but if I'm going to stay in this matchup, which looks like I'm going to do now, there's no point of taking the first one when I can lower their attack times 2, right? And this will kind of do what I want to do, in the fact that like I'll lower their attack, take an Icy Wind. Yes, my attack will be down by 2 with these Icy Winds, but again, not going to do enough. I think I even let the third one go. Okay, I go for another one. I think I do this because I still want to come out with like multiple Brave Birds. So I am fine just like going up, taking it 4 times down. So these Icy Winds are going to do nothing. I am like, my attack's getting pretty low though, so I don't want to really take another one. But Brave Bird's still enough to take this out, because still a nuke move, right? 3 times lowered or not. Out comes a Weezing. Again, I'm just going to lower their attack basically to force them on the back end to switch out here, right? So lower their attack, they go too far. So now I'm going to lower attack for sure. So now my Golisopod's going to come in on this, and they have to reset, right? You cannot stay in with a 4 times lowered attack Pokemon. Doesn't matter how good the matchup is, really. So they have to auto reset, and they auto reset on a Swampert because you have to. So I really like playing that strategy. It's a really annoying strategy, and I hate being on the other end of it. That's for sure. But it's not a bad strategy just to lower, because the attack lowering times 2 per each one of these is so significant, and it forced them. Like, I just forced them to get out into a freaking Giratina, which is Shadow Claw double resisted on normal typing. I mean, these Dragon Claws do add up. And again, I'm going to lower their attack and maybe Brave Bird before I bail. It's just like, it's such an easy strategy to use. Really minimizes the damage that you take and really forces your opponent to have to like make decisions. So I am going to Brave Bird and then probably bail into Golisopod. So they end up shielding that one correctly. So correct no shield and correct shield there. But they're 2 times lowered, so I'm not in a rush to start shielding these 2 times lowered Dragon Claws. The switch timer is the only thing. The switch timer did come up. Could be Moonblast, could be, it's just a Grass Knot. So, I mean, Grass Knot's still neutral, because I'm half water, half bug. So it's not the worst to take it, but it's not, still don't want those to add up. Got to lower the defense with the liquidation, so it probably is in claw liquidation range. And look at those Grass Knots do add up there, right? Going for a second liquidation, hopefully enough to take out Cress. Cress is pretty tanky. I've got it on a team coming up, and it is not enough to take it out. Cress is super tanky. So do end up living that, take it out. What is in the back? I didn't think I would get to liquidation. Obviously if I'm only going to throw one move, throw liquidation. I just didn't think I was going to get to it, so that is unfortunate. Coming in here, I shield because I want to get ahead on energy on my Cobalion. So what I think is going to happen is they are going to, I thought they would let it go, but just taking it lower, that they have to reset here is my goal. Because I want to get to a Stone Edge and I want to come out with a little bit of energy. So this is kind of risky. But Stone Edge, and I should be able to double kick down and come out with a bunch of energy. Because Stone Edge will take it to the deep red. And now it's just double kicking my way down to come out with 2 moves for the Swampert. So Shadow Sneak, not enough to take me out. I'm at 2 Sacred Swords. There's 1, and I'll go back to back here. There's 1, there is 2. Enough to take them out. So lots of jumping around there, but you try and do that when you have like lowering your attack. Okay, Greedent, Mudshot resisted. Body Slams come quick though. Far gonna outpace getting to a move here. Like they should have thrown before if they know I'm gonna lower their attack specifically too. Like you got to throw the move before I do this. CMPing with a Greedent is not a great idea because you're gonna lose CMP most of the time. And I just lowered your attack and out because again you have to really try and reset those if you can. And again I'm gonna Will to a Brave Bird bait, even if they call the bait, and they don't, which is even better. Now I have Golisopod, which will resist these 2 times lowered Scalds, right? So essentially do nothing. They lower my attack. Let's see if I try and go liquidation here. I should have thrown, speaking about throwing before your opponent lowers your attack, like I should have thrown before the Skull, because this Skull comes through and does lower my attack again. So I definitely should have thrown beforehand. I'm throwing liquidation because I'm trying to lower their defense, and I don't think there's a huge difference between Aerial Ace and liquidation in that neutral matchup. And I do get the lower defense, so now it kind of helps offset one of those lowered attacks. But as you see, Aerial Ace did not do much. Switch Clock is up. So you're going to get a lot of that with this team, especially if you stay into like lower your opponent's attack with Feather Dance. You're going to get a lot of like resets. So throw liquidation, Switch Clock up, reset on Cobalion, which now takes resisted moves all over the place here. However, Greedent is spammy, Mudshot super effective. So resisted or not, you will see me go down to the yellow because I'm just going to go for the farm down to come out with like 100 energy. but these Mudshot resisted crunches are going to add up a lot, right? So resisted crunches took me to the yellow, but I have basically 100 energy, so the Stone Edge will probably take out. Yep, does take out. What's in the back? Annihilate. Both moves resisted. Might as well just go for the harder hitting one. I'm going to try to get in here. I'm up 2 shields, but again, you cannot, you definitely cannot leave one Pokemon alive if you know I have a Pokemon which lowers your attack times 2. So I wouldn't be surprised if I shield this just to lower their attack by 4 and just make this like a top left for them. No, I don't. I mean, Gliscopod can just claw down with 2 shield advantage. I will shield 1 Shadow Ball, but I could just claw down at this point. And they know it. I think they're just trying to not get 2 shield flexed on. Swampert's interesting. I'm glad it's a non-Shadow Swampert, because the Shadow Swampert only takes 2 Hydros to take out Pidgeot. It will take 3 from a non-Shadow. They will outpace me anyway, so there's no point of CMP tying there. Might as well just get the extra one through. Going straight Brave Bird. Land it. So now I think I can just shield and take switch. And again, my defense is what, 3 times lowered now? But at this point, it doesn't matter. I got switch advantage, and I got energy. So whatever comes in, again, you know exactly what we're going to do. We're going to lower its attack times 2. They don't shield. That's fine. Now you can see I'm trying to go for the Brave Bird. Try and grab 1 shield back. So even if they're loaded with energy, I'll come Gliscopod. Force them to reset. They do shield that one up properly. So good no shield combo there by them. But now come in here. Resisted moves. Out comes a Drapion. I am going to lower, because I'm not too worried about the Tentacruel, so I'm just going to lower this a bunch. And now just come and get ahead on energy. They don't have anything to throw here, so this is a pretty easy matchup. Oh, they'd have Aqua Tail, so they do have something to throw. You don't really see a lot of non-shadows running Aqua Tail. Usually they run Crunch and Sludge, but yeah, Aqua Tail is neutral. So I will throw this to chip it low enough. That's fine. Counter down. Take a Aqua Tail. That's fine. Double poison team, which Steel obviously is going to resist all the poison here. They get a move off. I'm interested to see if I shield to get this off. I'll live. Yeah, so I don't need to shield. Get the Stone Edge off and then Claw and Air Lace for the win here. Or just Claw at this point. I'll live any move. I'm not going to shield the first one because the only thing I'm worried about, the only thing you need to be worried about is if they potentially acid spray you, right? Because if they acid spray you and then Scald you, that's a bad combo. So I'd rather, you know, you can live a Scald. So just let the first one go in case they try and acid spray you. Again, lowering the attack, huge. I hate going against these types of moves, but it's nice when you're on this end. Scald does quite a lot and lower my attack as well. So because my attack's lowered and I'm already at 50%, I'm just going straight Brave Bird. Does not do much. I think I can get to another move if they don't throw, which they do throw. I forgot they shielded the first one. So I have a shield advantage. I'm going to lose switch. They try to acid spray me. I should have thrown a Brave Bird. I just didn't think I'd get to a Brave Bird, so I just threw a Feather Dance. That's okay. Have I thrown Brave Bird, I would have took switch and shield, which would have been huge. But 4 times lowered is just as good. Although I think they acid spray me here. Yeah, we're just smart. Again, same thing on their end. Just lower my defense so much that they basically have to reset on anything here. And I will reset. Get some energy. Again, I could have thrown an Air Lace. It doesn't matter too much. Had to Dragon Claw though. And now it is a really tough alignment here. They just throw double Claw. Are they running Claw Ancient Power maybe? I know some Giratinas, and they shield. Interesting. I know some Giratinas run Dragon Claw Ancient Power, so that's perhaps what my opponent has, which is why they just threw 3 resisted Dragon Claws at me. Get to the Stone Edge. And once this hits, I was about to say, I'd be surprised if I don't just immediately get out here because Gliscopod with 2 shields should run whatever's in the back here. So get the second move off. If they get a Dragon, I don't think this takes out. If they get a Dragon Claw off, I probably will shield, save some health. Yeah. So all these matches take so long with all like the lowering of the attacks, and it is a Greedent. Why didn't you come in Greedent when you had switch advantage? I'm surprised they didn't come Greedent when they had switch advantage. So now my win condition again was Golisopod. It is now Cobalion. So I am going to try to get out of here. I can take the moves, get a Sacred Sword off. Hope I can get this up before they get, yeah, that's good. Because this should put it low enough that I probably now back in Shadow Claw Air Release range. I don't think there's a point of shielding here. I think I have to go Golisopod for the win again. So those are like, Switch Clock is coming up. Good catch. I remember winning this timeout because I have a shield. They get to move and I have a shield. So I know this is a timeout, so I have to shield to try and win with more health, and I do, to the tune of 29-11. So lots of jumping around there. So that's how you basically play it when you go 5-0, 6 in a row to start, 29-11. I'm like, okay, for sure. Oh yeah, this game like really messed up on me. I had to like reset it. Anyways, show the... Oh yeah, I don't even show the 29-11. I got 29-11. And then here are the losses when I stopped playing with this team. I basically went 3 losses in a row after. I started 6-0 and then went 3 losses, and I'm just like, okay. So again, my thought process is Shadow Ball's resisted. They can only throw... they're going to reset. And they do reset. So I will get on my one Pokemon that is not weak to Electric. I remember going up, I don't know if this is the Lantern team. I went up against an Ampharos Lantern backline, which is just like, okay, like, what do you do with that? Besides lose, which I did. They're baiting a Focus Blast. I think if you're going to run a safe swap Ampharos, you're not running Focus Blast. You need to run Brutal Swing Thunder Punch, or at least Brutal Swing Zap Cannon or something. You cannot run, yeah, you can't run that. So I'm going to get a Stone Edge off, which would be nice. I really actually hope they let this go, which I don't think they do. Yeah. Because now it's like, okay, same thought process was Golisopod's got a sweep here. I'm actually surprised I'm shielding. I think they're going to get to 2 moves. Maybe that's why. Yeah. They have a ton of energy, so I was just like, 2 are going to take me out. Now the question is, do I just go straight for the Brave Bird? Yeah, this doesn't surprise me because I think it's take this out or Golisopod should try and sweep the shield advantage. And they shield correctly. Shadow Ball will hurt, so I have to shield this. And it's just a Disarming Voice. But it is a Venusaur in the back. The thing is, Venusaur is still going to be able to chunk hard with these frenzies. And it's going to win CMP. So I need to go like right before they get to CMP here. So I did as much energy as I could. The problem is those frenzies and Vine Whips now put me in Incinerate range. So I get to the move on... So you see that? So I get to the move. I'm 2 claws short. So 2-4. Incinerate is a 5-turn move. But the Incinerate registers on 4. So it takes me out just as I'm getting into the move. And now they get to a move. So I don't think I'd play that any differently. I think I did the best I could and just decent on my opponent. Greedent in here. So again, so they smartly throw before to do as maximum amount of chip as possible, knowing that they're not going to, I know they're not going to shield here, but I still just want to try and play this game that I've been playing the entire time, which is lowering their attack. Lowering their attack. And then like getting up to energy. Like I would be surprised if I lower their attack again, 4 times lowered, and then just like try and get to 2 Brave Birds here. So I'll live 2 more Body Slams now because I lowered their attack times 4. So at this point, I think I should be able to keep Switch if I want it. Like I should be able to Brave Bird now and just take this out. But you know, lots of damage done. buy their Greedent on me, which is good for them. They'll take Switch. That's okay. I mean, I'll take Switch and Shield Advantage. So, okay. Tentacruel, throw a move. Nope, just go down with it. Unlucky, but I have alignment here. Scald. It'll chip. It'll hurt, but not worth shielding yet. No lowering of the attack, which is nice. This is essentially just going to come down to, I think I'm just going to lose whatever's in the back here. Because what is essentially happening here is we are going to have both of our Pokemon are going to be down in the yellow. And then it's just going to be my Cobalion versus whatever's in the back for them. And I'm guessing it's probably going to be like a Giratina or a Fairy or something that's just going to kill me. So I end up shielding here. Because I don't know what's in the back yet. I'm like, maybe I need some chip here. They end up shielding, and I'm like, okay, if you're going to beat me, let's see what you're going to beat me with. And I think by this point, it's too late. And it's a Giratina. Yep, not surprising. That is the only... You're kind of rolling the dice when you do that for this exact scenario, right? If your first... Basically, we both let our first Pokemon go down. We essentially both let our second Pokemon go down to a certain extent. And now... both of our Pokemon are, now it's just like whose third Pokemon is going to be the other third. And a Cobalion is going to get killed by a Giratina, so much so that they don't even need to shield any of the stone edges. So we are out of here. So that's basically when I redid the team. So yeah, that is it. Yeah, I'm gonna try and hopefully, yeah, I'll post this Thursday morning. We'll have an Umbreon team Thursday afternoon, or the viewer submitted team. Actually, the viewer submitted team Thursday afternoon. I'll save Umbreon for the next time Ultra League comes back. And then, yeah, yesterday afternoon I was debating whether to put this yesterday afternoon or just talking about the state of the game and how I'm burnt out and stuff like that. So I think I did that. So if you want to go check that out, go check it out. Anyways, that is it. Thanks for watching. See you guys in the next one.